Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome. I'm happy to see everybody's here. I'd like to call to order this July 2nd, 2024 regular council meeting. Please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
Your Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening
We actually have two.
Father, I ask that you come to us, each and every one of us in this room, give us discernment of your direction and your will, Father. That we can move forward and heal the wounds of this community and this village. That we can not for ourselves try to make a brighter future, but for our children. I ask that you come into all of these council members that we see before us today. And give them grace. And give them the discernment of truth. Not only to better themselves, but to better this community. Father, thank you. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next is the roll call. Council members present for the record.
Councilmember Back,
Present.
Councilmember Joy,
Present.
Councilmember Perkins, Councilmember Sexton,
Present.
Vice Mayor Atkins,
Present.
Mayor Nickerson.
Present. Next is the approval of the regular meeting minutes from June 18th, 2024 meeting. Are there any corrections or changes to these minutes?
Your Honor, I have a change. I put in front of you a revised set of minutes. There was a comment left out from Vice Mayor Atkins at the last meeting that was added on the second page. It's 3/4 of the way down. It's the third paragraph from the bottom. It's in bold in your revised minutes. I want to make sure it's included in the right. Are you okay with that, Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve? Excuse me, are there any corrections or changes to these minutes? No, okay, do I have a motion to approve May 7th, 2024 meeting minutes?
So. Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Approved.
Next on the agenda is unfinished business. Does anyone have any unfinished business?
No, I do have a couple matters of unfinished business if I can.
Yes, sir.
At our last meeting, Councilman Joy and I believe Councilman he had asked for my invoices before, along with Councilman Perkins. And the reason neither of those gentlemen have received a copy of my invoices is they detailed detailed narrative services that have been rendered. And they contain attorney-client privilege information, so I have to go through each one of those invoices and redact the attorney-client privilege information. That's going to take a while. And so what I thought I would do, I prepared a summary of my invoices since I began representing the village on mid-February 2024 and through May 31st. I've not submitted my bill for June invoices at this time. So it's just a summary, and we'll pass that out to council and account. And then I've got another package of information, which then another package of information, just which I thought I would pass out to council, which contains, Councilman Joy has filed a couple different criminal charges against me, and the councilman, ex-captain Chambers had also tried to file another criminal charge against me. And that is detailed in the sheriff's prosecutor case report that I'm going to hand out to council. Each one of those charges, to say that they were laughed out, it would be maybe a bit exaggeration, but it's close. I talked to the council and I can see how the council members and our police force are spending their time. For the members of the audience too, I've got finally the road all set.
It's all the paper clip.
Oh. Right, yeah, just take the entire package. That's
You don't have. Sir, you have this. Oh, yes. You know, you got one. All right, you're welcome.
all right. Now that we have all the documents passed, I'm just going to give a brief review. I was retained by the village. We got a signed contract and spelled out the terms of my employment. I was retained as special counsel to do investigation regarding various employees. As everybody knows, numerous employees were terminated. Investigations were done, personnel hearings were held. And so that was special counsel. As part of that, former village managers when men filed litigation against the village. And then I also was retained as the involved director. So to just give a summary overview for the 3.5 months that I've been able to total fees, total $84,039.83. When the invoices that have been redacted are provided, everybody will see the number of hours that have been worked. You won't see necessarily narratives. You'll see the hours, the days, the billing units, things of that nature. So complete full accountability. So the bulk of my time is spent in the first 2 months getting all the documents I need, interviewing employees, etc. And so Of the 84,052% of that, or $43,713 was under the initial special counsel matters. When the matter litigation is $20,000 paid, 24% of the total paid. Special counsel and all the personnel that filed appeals, 2 sets of appeals for each employee. That was 6.21% of $5,221. Public records requests were quite popular. Had to review all the public records and redact privileged information. General law director, I got the cap of $2,708 a month. That's up only billed for 2 months as far as that goes. And then we have prosecutorial matters involving prosecutorial items that was left unfinished from the prior prosecutor. So that in and of itself is a summary of all my fees today. And again, I'll have redacted invoices and distribute that, make them available to the public as well. On the charges filed by Councilman Joy and ex-Councilman Watt. The basic charge that's levied against me was interfering with their civil rights. And the basis of that claim is I issued an opinion with both Councilman Joy and ex-Councilman Watt wanted to talk not only at the dais, but at the end where citizens speak. I went through our codified ordinances and spelled out in detail in correspondence why that was not appropriate. They disagreed, and with the concert and assistance of Captain Chambers, came up with a charge to levy against me. And basically, the rest of this report, prepared in great detail by Sergeant Steele, goes through all the investigative matters that he did, who he presented these charges to. Now, nobody found that any of these charges had credibility, and the matter did not go forward. Of interest, even as Captain Chambers, if these charges were not going to be pursued, went down to the Montgomery County Prosecutor's Office and tried to file additional charges for dereliction of duty. He wasn't laughed out of the office, so he left whatever. So that is that document. And the last document is on ex-Councilman Block. Her attorney indicated to me that by following our charter, that village council had somehow abused its power, and that he's demanding that I file an injunctive action against council, making that claim on ex-Councilman Block's behalf. I politely declined in a 2-page letter, and you can see the details as to my reason. With that, John, I don't have any.
Does anyone else have any unfinished business? Let's go on to new business. Does anybody have any new business? No new business? Okay. Public comments or questions? I will call your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak and be heard. When your time is up, you will be thanked, but no additional time will be given, and no donation of time by others to others is allowed. We will not be stopping your time, but may, if necessary, address your comments after you have finished speaking. First person this evening, Mr. Craig Roberts, 1080 Salad, please, sir.
I would like to apologize for my conduct after the last council meeting. Whether or not a person agrees or disagrees with what you all do up there, that behavior is unacceptable that I displayed. I'm sorry. Being a former council member and mayor, I understand the job that you all have up there. I know it's important. I know it's a thankless job. And I know that you can't please everybody all the time. The only thing that you can do is make decisions based on what you feel is the best, in the best interest of the village. Having said that, I hope that we can get past the events of the last few months. I hope that we can move on so that we can move forward and that you can continue to, do the governing that you need to do and do the job that you were elected to do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Joshua Farley, 136 Berlin, sir.
That right there is the kind of stuff that's gonna heal this community. If somebody coming up and taking ownership for the things that they have say. As human beings here. It'd be all I have to fight today if you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Natasha Farley, 136 Brownwood.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have a whole lot. I did have, one question that I wanted to come address. I'm not really familiar with the road projects. But for about at least the last 2 weeks, if not longer, the road work is being done on Comer Court, at the corner of Comer Court and Church Street. There is this giant hose that is just like spewing water out of it and has been constantly for like 2 weeks. I just wanted to ask about that.
Yeah, that's been a popular question in the last couple of days, and in talking to Chris, we need to flush the water line. Because the new project is going to re-tap that line.
Okay.
So it's a flushing process and it seems like it's going on forever, but
Okay.
it's part of the
I
process.
figured it was a part of something, and like I said, I wanted to ask just because
Yeah,
of,
I appreciate you asking.
other than that, I think that's about all that I have. I'd like to thank you all. I appreciate you all for your care and concern and your time that you dedicate to this community. It is very appreciated and it is not going unnoticed. I wish all of you all to have a good night. God bless. Except for you, Bill. You owe me an apology.
Thank you, Ms. Farley. Shannon Bemis, 130 Brownwood.
Well, I had some things and then Mr. Roberts spoke and I think that Mr. Roberts and Mr. Farley kind of hit the nail on the head. I think that there's been so much turmoil for a very long time. And I think that it's time to move forward. And I'm gonna say it again, you're either on board or you're not. People don't like changes in management, people don't like new rules, people don't like new leaders, people don't like new coworkers, and you have a choice, you can stay or you can go. But the people that decide to stay, you need to stay in here and be positive and take ownership for your positions and your job and not make excuses anymore. I think that there's a lot of good things coming up that will be happening. I really can't comment too much on what was presented because I haven't been able to review it, so I'm sure I'll have something to say on that. And then, Mr. Joy, I did have one thing for you, and actually I have copies for council. And I don't want, this is gonna be the only time I think that I'm gonna go back after what Mr. Roberts and Mr. Farley said. You keep saying that there's a bunch of accusations and there's no proof. And I don't really wanna take a lot of time doing the homework for you. So I do have one thing that proves something, and that's the educational incentive. That was part of the preliminary investigation. So I have copies of the stubs of each employee that received an education incentive illegally for our charter for 35.516. I will hand you all out copies. And just in the past 3 years, we paid over $16,000 in illegal educational incentives. And while we're speaking of saving money, I guess also we're not paying the court building the $2,200, whatever it is a month. We're not paying to have the court building that's been empty since, what, 2019? Or no, well, no, 2 years, going on 2 years. So that's $26,400 a year we're saving. volunteering here, I will tell you, there's a ton of work ahead. I'm not gonna point fingers anymore, I'm not gonna point blame. It is a complete. There's a lot of work, a lot of things that weren't done for a very long time, things that weren't done properly, things that weren't done legally. And like I said, I've been volunteering my time for free, I have no hidden agenda, I have no interest other than trying to make things better and do the right thing. So my suggestion is that we take the advice of Mr. Roberts, never thought I'd say that, and move forward, like it or not. Continue to come to council meetings and be involved. But maybe everybody just kind of take a lesson through all of this and where we're at, and that you guys are people and you guys are trying your best. So I'm gonna hand this out to you guys if I may approach. So without going any further, I'll just leave it at that, and that's it for now. So good evening.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Peters. Great, next is administrative staff comments, Fire Chief, you have anything?
So in August, we will have a department member that will have 50 years of service solely to the village. Most of that time has been as a volunteer. So we will be having a ceremony on Saturday, August 24th at 1 p.m. that is open to the public. That will be conducted at the firehouse. As best I can tell, so he started in like 1974. The original firehouse on Main Street, which is where the Legion would be now. That's where the original firehouse was, and it was built in 1929. So anybody that would have had 50 years of service would have been there when he started. Not only that, to the best of my knowledge, he's the longest standing village employee that we have. So I'd like to welcome the community to come out on the 24th at 1 p.m. and recognize his commitment to this community for 50 years.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything for Fire Chief? No, anything, sir? I have nothing. Anybody have anything for Lieutenant Ward? Nothing, okay. Municipal manager's comments.
Just a couple of things, Your Honor, is with it being the holiday on Thursday, the village office will be closed. Don't have to worry about our trash getting disrupted. I have been in contact with one resident that lives on Homeway, who is part of the Homeway and Waste curb projects. There were some questions about the assessments that are coming due here at the end of August. So we've looked over that information and we'll be sending out new letters to those residents with the amounts that they owe for those assessment projects. So those should go out tomorrow, I would think. And so they should have those in time to make their payments by the end of August. And if anybody gets those and has questions, they can certainly call the village office or come and see me. And I'll be glad to explain that to them. We will be sending out some revised numbers on the project after that. And then after the last meeting, when there were some questions about the tennis court, I did meet with Dr. Williams at New Lebanon City Schools about the project. He's very supportive. They are on board. They're looking at some options for tennis matches to be played elsewhere this fall, which is, I believe, boys tennis, girls tennis is in the spring. So they will be looking to hold their matches somewhere else. But he asked that we hold off on doing some construction, they can still practice there for the team, and then we'll begin that construction project after the season. So they can hopefully be ready by spring. But he's very supportive and still on board. I'm very happy that we're doing. So that's why I have much questions.
Any questions for
I got a couple questions, and it's actually for the service department, but still not here, I can talk to you. when you drive down 35, you'll see that there's trees growing in our sewers again. And you'll see weeds that's yay high on the roadway. And then I just went to the water treatment, right there by the school, the tower. Why is it that there is so much debris and trees growing into the closed fence that you can't even walk through it?
These are the water treatments, so the one on.
The water tower, it's right there by the school, behind it, there's a locking gate. And they got the ball wire around it, I got pictures on my phone, I just haven't, I could print them out later for you guys if you want to see it. But, and then just swipe, but that's, you can't even walk in there if they needed to get in there.
I'll ask Chris to go and take care of that. I know, we haven't had someone that's been certified to spray for weeds. Till recently, I believe we've got someone that is going to take that test and get certified, so. We should see a lot of those weeds and things running up will get sprayed, which is the most effective way to take care of it. Hopefully that will take care of that for time.
And that actually would help the roads in the long run too, because that deteriorates it.
Absolutely. So I appreciate you bringing that up.
Thank you.
I just want to thank you for whoever went and got is getting certified, because I brought that up about the streets. Because what a lot of people don't understand is with the weeds growing up, it knocks them down, but the roots will cause the road to deteriorate. So whoever did that, thank you.
Yep.
But yeah, that would be all I would have to say on that, but I'm happy to hear that finally, because I came up here for a long time and brought that up. And that's the money in that profession, that's awesome. So, thank you.
Mr. Joy, anything for the city manager? I do not, thank you. Yes, sir. Council member comments? Would like to start off, anybody have any council member comments?
I do. So, the day at the park is going well. Our next meeting will be. We're actually gonna hold it at the park. And our next. Yeah, our next meeting is gonna be July 8th at 5 p.m. So, we are looking for volunteers, anybody that wants to help. We encourage anyone to please come. As it stands right now, we will be having fireworks for that event. So, it is going to be a nice day at the park. A lot of hard work has went into this. A lot of volunteers, a lot of time. And we're looking to have a good time, so.
Mr. Red? No.
I just want to thank Melissa and everybody involved on that, because we haven't had really the greatest of stagecoach days / day at the park. And I know that she's been working her butt off along with others, so it's great to see the community moving forward in a positive direction, and we're going to continue to do so. So, thank you.
Mr. Joy? I have nothing. Vice Mayor comments?
I don't have anything.
Nothing, okay. I just wanted to kind of reiterate under my comments for a second with the day at the park. This is a lot of hard work that we've all put in for. A lot of volunteers have come in. We've got tons of donations. I mean, this is gonna be a very awesome day for everybody, especially the kids. So we're moving forward with that. If you guys have noticed the pond out back, just amazing. It's beautiful. There's people out there in blankets and fishing. There was a gentleman that left 10 fishing poles in the gazebo this week for anybody that wanted to use them to come out and fish that didn't have a fishing pole. So it's very exciting to see things happening in our community. Our community garden is growing like crazy. I can tell you because I've been bit up by chiggers and I'm covered from head to toe from weed eating last week. But our garden's coming along. We have beautiful vegetables growing right now as we speak, and those will be for anybody that would like it. So it's a donation. If you'd like to come out and help, weed eat, cut the grass, whatever you'd like to do, you're welcome. Turn a sprinkler on. It's whatever you guys want to do, okay? So I'm very proud and honored to sit with this bunch of council that's up here, and I'm proud to sit in front of you guys and tell you we're moving forward and things are really coming around this community. And you can tell by just people out there, okay? So I thank you for that. Next is a request be added for an agenda. Shannon Bemis has requested that. For the agenda.
I'll skip it real quick. So I did talk to Mr. Andrews the other day, and maybe I guess in my agenda time, you can kind of, I've asked a quick question, so it's really not fair that I get the direct answer. If you can, maybe touch on a few things. I know that there are some things with the engineer, the street project. So there are things that are still happening that even though it's maybe not advertised, that there's things that are still occurring, job positions.
Yeah, so there's a lot happening. Sorry, I probably should have brought that for my comments, but we're working with the engineer to identify our roadway that will be resurfaced this year. We have about $220,000 budgeted for that project, so we'll try to find a road that we can wisely spend those dollars and get the best bang for our buck. We will be advertising for a couple positions this week. And so you'll see those on the village website if you want to check those out. Folks are encouraged to apply and contact me if they have questions. There's a lot going on, yeah, that may not be things you can see, but there's a lot happening underneath the surface. You can, or obviously we have a seat open here on council, so I'll defer to the law director for the exact process for that, but if anybody is interested, I know a few people have emailed me. You can certainly send me the information, I'll pass it up to the rest of council. I do not have a part in that. I just am more the conduits, but from a contact, if people want to send their letters of interest to me or their resumes, I can make sure the council receives that, but again, I have no part in that.
Right now, the appropriate or charter or ordinances really don't have a process for selecting the council member. So if anybody does have an interest, please submit an application, either to the village manager or to the mayor. Provide your qualifications and just a brief narrative of your interest. And my suggestion to the mayor has been to have a session where all interested candidates are interviewed and questioned. And then that would be by the village council only. That would be a special meeting. And that would be scheduled probably after our next regular meeting. And then council can collaborate and pick the next new council member. And if that's not done, I believe within 60 days, then the mayor does appoint a new council member. So anybody interested, please submit your qualifications and interest.
That is, that it. Anybody else have any other comments? All right, our next regular council meeting will be held on Tuesday, July 16th at 7:30. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Councilmember Sexton?
Yes.
Councilmember Joy?
Yes.
Councilmember Back?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Atkins?
Yes.
Mayor Nickerson?
Yes. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. Have a blessed evening. Thank you.
Like I said, go short, I'll send you another, the next couple of days with my information that you